it's funny because as a chiro, this is how it goes for me most days. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm Jason. I'm so-and-so. What do you do for a living? I'm a chiropractor. Like, oh, I'm good. I'm going to lay him down on a table right where we just met and adjust him in the middle of everything. Like, I gotcha.
Welcome to the In the Arena podcast. My name is Jared Miguez, a co-host on this podcast that brings you the inspiring stories of our clients who are leaders and innovators across different industries in Southeast Louisiana. They are visionary entrepreneurs, savvy real estate professionals, media creators, military business owners, and community champions. And we are going to showcase the remarkable achievements and share their personal stories. Tune in for insightful conversations, valuable lessons, and motivational stories that are going to reveal their secrets to success and offer you insights to help you on your own path. Welcome to In the Arena podcast. Welcome to the show. We had Dr. Jason here, Limitless Chiropractic.
You can do it. Limitless.
I know. Like I said, I've done 3 these days, so we're rolling through it. But I'm really excited to learn more about you and your business, and to learn more about business today too. And again, our purpose here is really to educate our audience about who you are and the value that you bring to our community. We're a local St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana-based podcast. We really want people here to know more about the great businesses that we have in St. Tammany Parish. And you and your business are helping people get healthy and heal and be able to live their life right in the way that they intend to live it. And you are a chiropractor, and you are a doctor, and there are some things that people may have had misconceptions about chiropractors and not know all the things that you offer as a chiropractor. So let's get started with just talking about, how you got into the business, what made you motivated to start your own business, and where you're doing today.
So at 14, my mom said it even as a kid that I always said I wanted to be a doctor. Mm-hmm. So I don't think you really know as a kid what that means, except that you're helping people.
Yeah, sure.
But when I was 14, freshman in high school at North Lake Christian, my dad had a small accident, right? We were snow skiing. He literally slipped and just fell down. And all of a sudden he couldn't feel his arms and legs.
Wow.
They brought him in the helicopter, airlifted him out. He was a quadriplegic for several months. We lived with other families, flew us home. Kids were all separated. It was traumatic as hell,
Wow.
I remember having conversations, like my parents were kind of split. So it was kind of how that is. And I remember literally having conversations of dropping out of high school because you're the oldest child, like you don't know what to do. You're just lost, trying to find your way, trying to help out as best you can.
Can't be a doctor to drop out of high school, though.
Yeah, no, you can't. But I mean, hey, look, it's one of those things that, Mike Tyson says everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, and how well we adapt as humans. We get punched in the mouth every day. If you can't adapt, I think adaptability is the best quality an employee or a person can have. Mm-hmm. So North Lake, that community that was there, the people that were there really helped shape me and who I am, helped me stay on a straight and narrow. And my dad was kind of in the hospital more than he was out of the hospital through high school. He had to relearn to walk twice. Wow. Now he's at 9 spinal surgeries. So it was like 7 or 8 at that point. So at that point, when I was blessed with the ability to stay in high school at a great school, was when I was like, okay, I want to go into neurosurgery. So I had toured LSU and Tulane medical centers, and I knew that that's kind of the path I wanted to go. So when it came time for college, I had played 3 sports in high school, looked at a lot of different schools with some different offers on the East Coast to go play ball. And kind of what my dad and I had discussed was stay close to home, a school that you could play both sports, 3-hour drive. I went and took a tour of a school. It was like a 16-hour trip there and 16 hours back. I was like, this is too much.
Yeah,
I needed to be close to home.
Yeah. What sports were you playing?
Football and basketball in college. So we decided on Millsaps. I had school covered, so I didn't have to pay for anything. So that was really a great opportunity. They had good coaches there, great education. So played basketball my first year. And so getting to school was a big thing. And that's where I actually met my amazing wife, Morgan. Nice. And so meeting her dad was a chiropractor. He actually passed last May, and he was a big influence on my life. Wow. But he had been talking to me like, hey, look, like, you need to look at chiropractic. And I was like, look, man, thanks. But like, no, thanks. I know what I want to do. And there's one analogy that he used to say, and you got to know Doc Shell was an incredible person, man. Like you just got to know the guy. He was captivating. He walked in the room and you recognized him. Okay. He was only about 5'7", but the personality was like 7 feet tall. Okay.
Love it.
Yeah. So he would say, hey, look, if you were walking down the street and someone was dying and they had a Staples Easy button on them and you could hit that button and save their life, would you do it? And I'd always be like, yeah, dude, like, of course, it's pretty easy. Of course I would. He's like, that's chiropractic. He's like, it's just that easy. An adjustment is that powerful. And I was like, cool. Like I'll start getting adjusted. And I did. And like, dude, my allergies went completely away. It was wild. Like I've had all kind of different things done as a kid. And like, we can delve into that, but it was just wild. Like all of a sudden, like, whoop, 100 miles an hour to 0. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool stuff. Well, fast forward another year, my wife and I Morgan and I got engaged. And my dad went to Baylor for this stem cell regeneration. Neurosurgeon was doing this stuff, trying to be able to like help his nerve endings, because what had happened when he fell was the arthritis in his spinal cord pinched his spinal cord and the nerves. And so his nerve endings died. And so this doctor was doing this research. Well, he ended up looking at mom and dad's pre and post films and was like, look, Mr. Arir, if you had seen a chiropractor prior to your accident, you could have prevented the arthritis and degeneration that led to the trauma of your accident.
Wow.
And that was one of those, I was like, all right, obviously this is a sign that I need to change course. So at the time I was a math and biology double major. And I had switched to business finance at that point. After digging in, they're like, hey, look, you need to know how to run a business as a chiropractor. It's the number one reason chiropractors fail.
Yeah.
So learned the business side of things and really focused on that part of it because I already had all the other prereqs. So that's really what pushed me to go that direction. And so her dad, Doc Shell, and my dad really were the two driving forces to kind of get me down that road.
That's very cool.
It's a beautiful story.
And how's your dad doing now?
Man, my buddies joke that Big Rob's a cockroach, man. That dude he's old school, man. Like, you don't find dudes that tough. Like, he had a surgery where they took this bone out of his leg and replaced the bone in his jaw because it was, dude, he's tough as nails, man. He's got a girlfriend right now, and Miss Peggy's awesome. Yeah. You know, so he's chugging along, man. That's 74, 3, 5, somewhere in there. You know?
I immediately thought of Men in Black, you know, when the guy like turns into a cockroach. Yeah. I could have done without that visual.
He's just old school, man. He's tough. Like, you don't hear the dude complain. He's had to relearn to walk really now a third time after the leg surgery, you know, then complain, tough as nails.
Teaches you how to persevere.
Yeah. And I think that's another big example for us. Like, it's one of those, like, it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. Yeah. You know, you can complain or you can persevere.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. And so your father-in-law, I've talked about this a lot today, so it's kind of a theme, but we talk a lot about you can have good mentors and people in your life that impact you in a way, and you can have people that can create trauma and negative impact, you know, and I
still have an impact.
Both of them have a very big impact. And you have this natural and environmental element to who you are as a human being, right? The natural part, which your God gave you, right? Your genetics, who you are. Then you have the environmental part of it, the nurturing part of it that can shape you, right? You can have things that happen in your past, like your dad, right? Like you can have negative experiences, or you can have experiences that you are using as just another part of your story that you're going to develop and work through and challenge yourself to be able to overcome, right? And people have that switch in their brain that gets flipped once you've accomplished something, or you've seen somebody accomplish something or overcome something like that. Do you feel like the things that you kind of alluded to, but the things that you've gone through in your life and seen people do certain things and the positive influences you've had have allowed you to become the person that you are?
Yeah, absolutely. We do a lot of personal development in office with employees and different stuff. And I'm always preaching. I'm like, look, guys, not everyone's going to be able to give you positive criticism. You know, like it's going to be criticism, negative, positive, in between, whatever the hell you want to call it. How you take that, interpret that.
It's on you.
And what you do with it is on you. You know, like not everybody's going to be like, oh, Jared, hey, that was a great job today. You know, you could really improve. Like people are going to
I'm always that nice to you, right?
Yeah, for sure. I get that. That's what it's like here. It's always rainbows and butterflies and pretty pictures and things.
You know, but I think that comes from sports, like coaches yelling at you, dog cussing you left and right. Like you either fold and pitch your tent and go home, or you suck it up and you get it done, you know? So taking those experiences, and I think a lot of people, it's a mentality really, you know, because I see a lot of things that have happened in life, and it's like, man, like you got to make the best of it. You know, like you can cry about it, but like you got to turn around and make the best of it, or else it's going to eat you alive.
I love that you're setting that boundary in your business though. You know, that's what I think people don't do enough of. You can be empathetic, but still have a boundary that says, I hear you, but you can't do that here.
Yeah.
Right. And we love our employees. We spend a lot of time with them. You know, we do the DISC assessment so they can have a better understanding of who they are with that natural personality that Jared was talking about. But we can't control the environments that our employees come from. And you can have wonderful people with a great value system that don't have the support at home, whether it's their friends, their partners, their spouses. They don't have the support and the positive environments that we hope that they would have. And sometimes their workplace is their relief. It is their safe place, but you still have to set those boundaries, right? And that's that tough love that we give back to them that others don't.
Yeah.
That criticism that says like, I hear you, but today we're going to be positive. We're going to take all these negative things and find, you know, some truth to it, something that we need to learn about ourselves and something that we can change.
Processing those things too is it's not an easy thing to do sometimes, to go back and recalibrate or review what may have caused those environmental issues that have, you know, you're working through those things, and being aware of them is what also can help you become a better boss or leader or employee or whatever role you have with life.
Yeah.
So all those things are important. So let's talk about your business now. So as a chiropractor, and I think that people are having a new perspective on chiropractic and what y'all can do to help people. But in the past, it's usually, and from what my perspective was, you had something happen to you, like some traumatic event, and you need to go to the chiropractor to get fixed or realigned or whatever it is. But there's a lot more to that. Yeah. So let's just talk about the mindset that people have towards chiropractic offices and what a chiropractor actually truly does at the office for a patient.
Okay. You're going to get me on my soapbox here for a second.
Good, let's do it.
We'll push you down if we have to. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So look, it's one of those that, once again, I think not enough people take their own responsibility. Mm-hmm. We're in this predicament because of ourselves as chiros, right? Because we've, and this goes back even further than the 80s and different things, but to shorten it as much as possible, is we've gone through, instead of educating patients, right? Doctor means teacher in Latin origins. So our job is to treat, but it's also to educate. If you're not educating while you're treating, you're not doing your job. Mm-hmm. And that happens too many times in every form of medicine, in every doctor.
I was about to say, I feel like that's the whole issue with medicine. Making people dependent on the system as opposed to improving their lives.
So the premise of what we do as chiropractors, and this is what, I do consulting for docs kind of around the country, and we're expanding that over the next couple of months. Had to get our new building set up and expanded and everything else. But I talk to docs about this, and this is the number one thing that they say, Doc, this has taken my practice to another level, is talking chiropractic with patients, telling them what we actually do, not just being like, yeah, Jared, call me when you need me. Like, why are we going to wait until you've got a bad back and we've got to do all kinds of 75 visits to get you right over, that's just one of those, it's just crazy to, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's in everything that we do. Yeah. You don't wait until the tooth is bad and be like, now we got to fix that. Yeah. Hey, you just brush your teeth. So the premise of chiropractic is that God designed your body to heal itself, and it does. There's not a doctor in the world that heals you. You slice your arm open, bring it to the ER. What do they do? Give you some antibiotics, make sure it's not infected, stitch you up. Did they heal you?
Nope.
No, they just put the skin back together so it can heal. Mm-hmm. Right. So, and how that happens.
It's really gross to think about.
It is.
It just grows back together. But thank you. Thank you for that visual. I got two gross visuals now, Jason.
I've had stitches like 15 times.
I took a splinter out of my daughter's foot the other day. It was so much fun. She was bloody murder. And I was just like digging that thing out of there.
Pocket knife?
I healed her.
Pocket knife style? Definitely you healed her.
No, clothespin, tweezers. I got in there.
Dude, my wife's the best at getting any
Jared is a surgeon, just in case we need to know, and Morgan.
Yeah. Any splinter, I'm like, hey, your mother's got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's how God designed it. It says your brain sends messages down the spine, out the nerves, controls every single cell, gland, muscle, tissue, and organ in the entire body, right? So if we don't believe that the brain and spine are the most important organs in the body, let's cut T2, the nerve that goes to your heart.
I was like, what's T2?
Your heart stops.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how strong it is, how good it is, how well it beats. It's just going to stop. So the premise of what we do is we treat one thing, and it's called a subluxation. Sublux meaning minor, right? A minor misalignment. A dislocation's out of socket, a minor misalignment. Just a little bit, okay? And I've never had someone come into the clinic being like, Doc, I have a subluxation. Yeah. They come in with neck pain or back pain or headaches or sciatica or trouble with bowel movements or any of these many different things. And then through what we do and the process that we go through, we're like, oh, hey. And the crazy part is, like, out of all the nerves in your body, billions of them, what percentage do you guys think are sensory?
All of them.
I have no idea. I'm in the practice of law, Dr. Jason.
10%.
10.
Yeah.
Wow. We complain a lot for 10%.
Yeah.
10%. So when someone, it's funny because as a chiro, this is how it goes for me most days. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm Jason. I'm so-and-so. What do you do for a living? I'm a chiropractor. Like, oh, I'm good. I'm going to lay him down on a table right where we just met and adjust them in the middle of everything. Like, I gotcha. It's like, guys, it's not like that, Yeah. But
that might be a good discounted walking advertisement, though.
It might.
Watch people walking hunched over and just straighten their asses up.
Oh, it's funny. Back when I got out of chiropractic school, I was bartending and just trying to save up to build this clinic and move back home here. And people would find out you're a chiropractor. And they'd be like, oh, do you do bar adjustments? I'm like, would you ask your OBGYN to do their work right here at the bar? Like, no, man. It's like, but that's what's happened to our reputation. It's become watered down.
Pretty sure that happens at some bars, but maybe not at PF Chang's.
So let's talk about it. If you're going to say I offer these different services, right? So I was going to come into your clinic. Is it all post-traumatic injury, pre-traumatic injury? Nope. People come in just for realignment? What does it offer? So
really the second biggest issue, we talked about not talking chiropractic, but the second biggest issue, and this isn't a shot at any chiro because you can do whatever you want. Our scope is large. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that we can do, the one thing that no other doctor in the world can do is treat subluxations, right? And I see too many chiropractic clinics that either don't adjust the spine well, or they do all this other stuff and then they're like, and they only adjust like one or two things. And it's like, man, all this other stuff that you did, they can go get it at PT. They can go get it at rehab.
So wait, they're adjusting other bones, but not the spine? I'm explaining.
They might adjust, like, you have 24 vertebrae, plus your skull, your sacrum, your iliums, and then all the extremities, which we can get to. So many chiros won't even adjust the extremities.
They only adjust the extremities?
They won't adjust any extremities. They won't even adjust the foot. And about a third of sciatic cases aren't from the low back, they're from the foot.
So how do you diagnose somebody?
So the process that we go through, so if we want to talk from a business sense and business improvement, I'm a huge process person. So like our processes are top of the line, right? And thanks to Jonah, he's done a lot of the video stuff for us as far as the new patient video series and things like that we focus a lot on education. We focus a lot on process because we do a lot of analysis. And the way I kind of describe it to patients is we take a step back. Like, you've got all these different complaints when you come in, right? Well, cool. We're going to take a step back and look at Jared as a whole. We're going to take the x-rays. We're going to do all of these things, which also over 50% of chiropractic clinics don't x-ray.
So they just feel?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what if you got a thick layer? How do you feel it?
That's a big issue for me. It's like, man, safety first. Like, we all take the Hippocratic Oath as a doctor saying, hey, we'll do no harm. Well, I mean, as I've seen more chiropractic patients than any other chiropractor in the state of Louisiana in the last 7 years. And I can tell you right now, I have seen things on x-ray that you would not be able to feel. Here's a crazy case. So this lady, she's an attorney. I treated her for a year, and then she changed jobs and was traveling, everything else. Didn't see her. We moved into our new building. She brought her husband in about 2 months ago now. Okay. We x-rayed him. Jeff had low back pain. That was it. Treated his low back pain, decompression adjustments, 3 visits, gone. He comes in his 4th visit and he's holding his arm like this. I'm like, Jeff, what's going on, man? Nothing. No, something. Like, what'd you do? Nothing. I'm like, hold on, time out. Hey, we need a re-exam. Like, put him in there, go through pinwheel exams, neurological, everything. Everything's negative. Like, nothing shows up positive. So clinically, he's good.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Something in the back of my head's like something wrong. So I go through and I check his clavicle, his scapula, and his entire upper extremity, adjust everything. And he starts bawling, crying. And he's moving his arm. And he's like, oh my God. And his wife's like, you okay? He's like, everything's better. And I'm like, cool. In the back of my head, I'm like, let's see. He comes in a couple days later for his 5th visit. And he's like this again. I'm like, hey man, look, something ain't right. 100%. Like I need you to see a neurologist. Right. And there's a big neurology clinic that's kind of an all-in-one that had offered me to be their partner 2 years ago or something like that. And I said, thanks, but no thanks. I want to do my own thing. But I have a good relationship with them. So I called them and I said, hey, look, I need you to see this guy's stat. Like this thing developed out of nowhere. So in the meantime, they got him set up 4 days later. He went to an orthopedic 3 days later who said, that chiropractor's crazy. Never see him again. Day 4, he went to the neurologist. They agreed, said, we need to get an MRI, brain and spine MRI stat, which is what I had requested. They got it. They did surgery on his malignant brain tumor 5 days later.
Wow.
5 days later.
Wow.
They did a biopsy and they said this was very malignant. You are lucky that you got in this quick because we don't think weeks would have been the difference for him.
Wow.
Wife called us up telling us all this, bawling, crying.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So it's the evaluation and management, the E&M part of things that's really important. And
do you think that if they'd have walked in any other chiropractors office, they'd have noticed that? And you don't have to answer that question because I know you probably have some people in the industry, but what gave you the ability to understand that was there? Because you don't think the mindset of going to a chiropractor is not that they're going to be able to help identify an issue that you would say is apparent because you understand the spine.
So my first thought with him wasn't brain tumor. My first thought was there's a lesion of some kind, right? All I have to do as a chiro is say normal, not normal. I don't have to diagnose the tumor. Right. Like that's nowhere.
Put him in the right direction.
Put him in the right direction. That's it. And have the connections in place. And because, I grew up here and I have a lot of the connections that people that I trust and people that are really good at their job. And I can go, hey, look, this is what we need to do. And his wife trusted me enough. I had to call. They didn't want to do it at first. And I called her 3 times in a week. 3 times because they weren't going to go.
Oh, wow.
So it's one of those that I tell Sarah and my office manager, Kayla's been with me for 6 years. Like when I'm in the room with a patient, so let's get back to some business side also while we're rolling this in. As a chiropractor, right? And even as you, Jared, it's the same thing, but I wear 3 hats, right? I'm Jason, dad of 5 kids, farm, everything else. Okay. I'm a business owner. So I'm Jason, the business owner, and I'm Dr. Jason. Mm-hmm. So having the delineation, and you have to have balance in your life. So when I'm at home, I try not to do work stuff. Like when I'm with my kids, I don't want to answer my phone. It is kid time. That's if I could stay at home with my 5 kids and my wife all day long, as much as I love what I do, I would spend that time with them because that time is valuable, right? Mm-hmm. As business owner, I have to do business owner things, right? And I have to do that. And that's where goal setting and those kind of things come into play. And you can't cross those over with Dr. Jason, because when I'm Dr. Jason, I am 100% in a room. If one of my staff members says, hey, go to room 3 after you're in there, I'm going to finish our couple minute visit. I'm going to walk out and be like, where am I going?
Yeah.
Because I'm 100% just in there trying to solve whatever's going on. Because it's like a puzzle, right? You add all the pieces up that you give, the x-rays, the exam, and all these different things trying to solve that puzzle. And that's the piece. So if you're half-ass paying attention, you may write it off.
For sure.
You may think as a chiro, like, well, I can't fix that. Like, I'm going to just send him to his primary care. For me, it was just, okay, that is a very fast onset. I need to get him somewhere to get this checked out, because the way that I treat everyone is my dad, right? When they told my dad, hey, if you had seen a chiropractor, I was pissed off, man. I remember throwing the baseball with my dad out in the yard, and I remember him being like shaking his hand out, and I'd be like, hey, dude. And he'd be like, I got stingers. He played football.
Yeah.
And he was one of those old school nut jobs, like just hitting people with no helmet, didn't care, And so he had severe arthritis, and no one told him anything. No one educated him. So in our clinic, we don't do a sell. We're not going to sell you. Hey, look, we offer chiropractic. You want to get better? Here's the process. Here's what we're proposing. Here's what it's needed. You want to see the research of it, of how efficient it is? Here's all the research with it. There's thousands of cases.
How much time are you spending in the books and researching now that you actually own a business? Because you talked about the dad, the business owner, the doctor. I'm sure when you're in the doctor hat, you're trying to become better at your job and learning. How often are you spending time educating yourself and training your staff? So,
there's a couple of layers there. So one, I'm a part of McCoy Press, which is Matthew McCoy was a professor. He's also the largest chiropractic researcher in the world. He's now at Sherman University, so he's always putting out, I get emails a couple times a week with new research articles, different things like that. Reading those. There's also continuing education seminars that we go to. We just finished a leg length inequality training with Dr. Malley.
Tell me about that leg length. What significance does that have?
So
it's when you want longer legs.
So
clearly.
How many people, what percentage of people do you think have one leg anatomically? Okay, so I'm going to clarify that. That means when you're looking at an x-ray, okay, this is a pet peeve of mine, and you see a rotated pelvis, too many chiropractors go, yeah, we have pelvic rotation. We can adjust that. What happens if one pylon's shorter than the other, Jared?
And you rotate them?
You're going to be limping like my mama.
Do you think that I can unrotate a pelvis when the legs are like this?
No.
What percentage of people do you think have one leg shorter than the other?
It's kind of like one eye being smaller. 89.
90.
90 people have one leg shorter than the other. Interesting.
Or we've got 2,000 case studies. Dr. Malley's got.
I mean, it matches eyeballs, boobs, legs. It's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Arms.
It's always one bigger.
And here's the thing, so to speak more on that, the leg length inequality stuff, right? So they teach you different methods in school, and so to reference back to earlier, so I was a math and biology major. I was only the math major for a GPA boost. I'm a math geek. So I was like, man, to get into med school, they don't want just a biology major.
Yeah.
They wanted more. So I was like, let me be a math major too. Easy A's all the way through, blah, blah, blah. So for me, if things don't add up and make sense mathematically, I'm like, that's stupid. I'm not doing that.
I love math too. One right answer.
It's objective, man. There's no subjectivity in it, So,
except statistics.
Yeah. So when I looked at this analysis method, I was like, oh snap, this one actually makes sense. This is pretty cool. So I flew up there to see his clinic after the third seminar I saw with him, and I was like, man, this is crazy. My left leg is 7 millimeters shorter than my right. So when I'm going through the analysis, Dr. Malley's like, you've had knee injuries? Yeah, I've had meniscus multiple times, multiple tears, multiple surgeries, stem cells, you name it. I've had an MCL injury playing college football, ankle, my whole right leg. My knee would swell up once a month. I'd have to have fluid taken off, big old nasty syringe. Mm-hmm. We were talking to my wife, and I had to have a real conversation a couple of years ago about selling the clinic. So I was like, man, I can't even walk. It was wild. Mm-hmm. Went and did all this. I haven't had fluid taken off my knee in almost 3 years.
What did you do to fix the one leg being longer than the other?
You have a lift in your shoe. It's a little brown lift. It's the oldest we use. So the company we use is LBM. They're the longest tenured lift company. They were the first one ever. It's their 91st year in business. It's this fourth generation owned or whatever. Good people.
Yeah.
Sturdy, real easy. We measure down to the millimeter. We measure both bones, cross compare, everything else. It's no other method is better. But the piece that people miss, right? So if I just did a leg length and adjusted your spine, there's 26 bones in the feet. So if I'm missing bones in your foot that aren't adjusted, you can actually have the arch collapsing on one side, not the other. Well, then that's going to unlevel the pelvis too. So that's where having the whole approach that we take, if you're not doing that, that's why we get the results that we get. You know, like we've never marketed. We've done like little marketing things here and there, and they don't really work. Just building the practice the right way, doing the right things, getting the results that you get causes those referrals and causes people to go, okay, let me try this.
Well, let me ask you some questions then about marketing. So who is your ideal client? If you were going to paint a picture of the person that you service, the highest level, who would it be?
So if I was asked, hey, who's your ideal client? It'd be anyone and everyone with a spine, right? Because that's really more than I love adjusting and I'm very good. I love it. But my mission in life is to spread the word of chiropractic so that more people find out, more people can prevent the issues. I have a lady who's an ultrasound tech. She's had Crohn's since she was a kid. She started getting her baby adjusted. Different things talking about that. I was talking to her. She started getting adjusted. She hasn't had one Crohn's episode in 6 months.
Wow.
She'd had one weekly. You know, so like just those types of things. Now, do we treat Crohn's? No. We treated her subluxations that were misaligned in the spine. Everything else, the body has now healed itself. No signs of Crohn's. Like those are the things that like to spread that message to people. Because too many people are like, well, I don't have any back pain. Great. No one had pancreas pain either before they had pancreatic cancer and found out and then died 4 weeks later. Pain is fickle. If we're only looking out for pain, you're going to miss a lot of things.
Well, I can tell you that my mother-in-law just got it's like her like potentially life-saving preventative scan of her body and found kidney tumor that got removed. That whenever it was stage 1 and took the kidney out, she's going to be healed. While it could have been way worse if she wouldn't have done the preventative stuff. And I guess that's my question. If I wanted to come and meet with you and I don't have any pain, I don't have any issue sleeping, I don't have issue sleep, I don't have sleep apnea. Like I'm from what I feel like a very healthy person. But if I wanted to come, what would I come to you for? And I understand the idea of being preventative, but what does that mean when I'm coming to you to try to be preventative, to go meet with a chiropractor and establish a relationship?
Okay, so let's get back to what I was discussing earlier. So I told you that 10% of the nerves in the body are sensory, right? 30% are motor, right? They move you. 60% control the autonomic nervous system. Familiar with that?
Nope.
Yeah, you will when I say this. It's broken down to sympathetic and parasympathetic.
Okay.
Now you've heard of it, right?
Yeah.
Fight or flight, feed and breathe. Okay. I love using this analogy, right? Have you ever seen someone that got really, really nervous and they threw up? Why'd they throw up?
Body's getting out what they think they need to get out to make you stop being nervous.
Sort of. So think about it like this. Your body, sympathetic and parasympathetic are inverse. They're like yin and yang. They can't both be stimulated, right? So when your fight or flight is stimulated, your body's like, dude, to hell with adjusting that food. Get it out so all of our energy can go to surviving. Okay? So now let's talk a little deeper, right? So when we're subluxated, our bodies puts us in flexion because it opens the nerve hole. So what's the first thing when we do this? Now posture's ruined, right? So when that happens, flexion is protection for the body. So now that sympathetic nervous system is stimulated. Now your cortisol production goes up. So now your body's natural production of melatonin, serotonin, and dopamine are down. So what do? Oh, just take more melatonin. No big deal, right? But that's why we're so over sympathetic stimulated. Cortisol levels are through the roof because to layer that also is we're so high paced volume, go. And then we talk about, okay, well then your diet's not good too. Well, now we're layering all of this stuff. Well, no wonder chronic disease is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
You know? So to answer your question, I know that was kind of a roundabout answer, but I've never had someone that I adjusted and went, yeah, I don't feel any different. They'll come back and they'll go, like I treated a lady the other day. Husband started care, wife started care. They had seen other chiros. They were like, oh my gosh, this is an incredible process. Like, this is phenomenal. I'm so excited. They brought in their 5-year-old. Yeah, so-and-so only poops every 5 days, 4 or 5 days. What? We adjust the kid. And I'm like, yeah, like he's going to start pooping. And the mom goes, I had no idea. She's in like her 2nd or 3rd week of care. She's like, I've been wondering what's going on. I've been looking through my diet. I've been pooping twice a day. I'm normally like twice a week. She's like, it's been great. And her husband's like, girls don't poop. Like, it was cracking me up. But like,
they must be newly married.
But she didn't make the connection. She didn't even say anything to us about constipation. Mm-hmm. I wasn't treating her constipation, to be clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were just treating her as a whole, right? And those things improve, right? Jonah loves our N diagram videos, so I explain chiropractic with just the letter N, talking about how, right? Love that one?
I practically know by heart.
So all things we do in life, phases of human performance, are controlled by body chemistry, right? And body chemistry is controlled by the glands. There's tens of thousands of glands in our body, right?
Yeah.
Well, if the glands are under control of the central nervous system, right? Okay. And the central nervous system is encased in bone, the spine. Mm-hmm. If the bone misaligns, it throws off the central nervous system. Now the central nervous system can no longer regulate the glands. If the glands aren't regulated, then the body chemistry is going to be off. And if body chemistry is off,
you feel like crap.
Human performance is going to be down. And it can never be as optimal as it could have been as long as that subluxation is in place.
So
Dylan asked to have her first chiropractic appointment recently.
You're getting me interested. Because, I don't go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
For nothing. The only thing I went to the doctor for was because my toe was about to fall off and they had to rip my toenail off. And it was literally falling off. Like, I was like, I will survive this. I will get tougher. My toe will heal itself. And my mom was like, your toe's turning red. It's about to fall off. So I went. But that was like the only reason. I don't go to the doctor. And so, but I do love the idea of preventative things you can do, right? Yeah. You eat well, you sleep well, you exercise. So I need to know, like, and I understand you have a process, but if I come to you and you're going to look at it, you're going to say, you are a specimen, physical, just incredible human being. Okay. But there's just
help.
one.
What is the sign language of help?
Blink twice. If there is, you will, a scan of my body say, if I adjust you in these 2 or 3 ways, you will then feel better. And if you come back systematically once a month, we will continue to maintain that level so that you can continue to thrive. That's the mentality, right?
Yeah. It's almost clinically impossible for you to have perfect spine and things. And you'll see it when we x-ray. That's the biggest thing. When people see their spine, they're like, oh my, that's me. I'm like, yeah, your name's right here. Yeah. We just took these. Like, here's the time. Here's a stamp. Here's everything. But because everything in life requires maintenance, agree? Mm-hmm. Hair looks great. Does it stay that way?
Oh, no, I'm going this week.
Yeah, right? Like, beard looks good. Does it stay that way? Your car outside, does it require maintenance? Mm-hmm. You got a boat? Mm-hmm. Your boat stay good?
Extra maintenance for boat.
In life, there's something called entropy, right? Mm-hmm. The laws of nature at work every single day, tearing things down. And if you don't do more than this pace, you are going to go downhill, right? So that's the idea. So here's something I see all the time is I've had nutritionists, I've had dietitians, I've had all these things come in and they're like, well, we take an x-ray. And I'm like, you're backed up. They're like, no, I eat great. Okay, watch what happens after you get adjusted. And they'll be like, oh my gosh. I'm like, it doesn't matter what you're putting in. If the engine needs the maintenance first, if the engine's not running right, it doesn't matter if you put the right oil in.
Yeah.
You've got to maintenance it first. Yeah. Then you put good food in.
Yeah. So let me ask you this other question.
Okay.
This
is now turned into Jared's consultation. I just want everybody to understand. So,
well, look, but you know, I've lifted weights my entire life. I don't like to run. I get the worst shin splints. but I love lifting weights. Like you put a barbell on the ground, I will want to put as much weight on as I can, pick it up and put it down as many times as I can. It's just it's what I go to. And I know I don't have any real aches and pains really, which is not 100% true because my shoulders after just doing the bench press or the pull-ups over and over again, they start to creak a little bit. Is that something that coming into the chiropractor would be able to put that back in line and make that feel better?
So this is a pet peeve of mine because playing shortstop in high school, playing quarterback most of my life, and then I switched to receiver in college. I throw football 60 plus yards, right? Mm-hmm. So I've thrown billions of balls. Mm-hmm. When you don't adjust the extremities, you miss it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So like I had a ex-pro baseball player of like 10 years come in the other day and I put him through some shoulder tests and he's a scout. He's a coach for the MLB and he throws BP every day. Well, doesn't tell me any of this, but I saw his scapula. I'm like, hey, come here. Adjusted his scapula, had him go through all this tests, blah, 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 blah. He's like, whoa, oh my God. I'm like, hey, when you threw BP, did you feel like you were coming across your body a lot? Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, everything was cutting away from me. I'm like, you know why? Because your scapula was protracted and anti-tilted. So it closed off, creating an impingement syndrome in the shoulder. So this is where, you give me on another soapbox for a second. So rotator cuff tears drives me nuts. Nuts, right? Because I bet you if you talk to an orthopedic that does rotator cuff surgeries, ask them, how many of those are acute tears? Meaning like all of a sudden. Not many.
No, they're over time. They're
over time. They're chronic degenerative tears. So think about it like this. And here's another thing. Do you think God designed your tissues to fray and break and not last? No.
Not my God.
No, exactly.
He's like, I'm going to give you the good stuff.
Exactly. Our tissues are designed to last. But if I took a rope, okay, and I rubbed it between two bones over the years, don't you think it would fray like that? Mm-hmm. So I've never had a shoulder. There's one case right now that's got frozen shoulder because she didn't do anything for a year, right? But those are the ones like, okay, we've got to get rid of the frozen shoulder, some different things, but like that's a rare case. The rest of them are like, dude, my shoulder's so much better. My throwers, baseball players, football players, I'm like, that's part of the passion is like, I didn't have these things. And I could feel the dysfunction. Mm-hmm. Like we traveled around playing flag football around the country for a little bit. And I was like, man, I could feel it. Like, I know there's dysfunction there, but no one addressed it.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, why didn't someone address that? Well, it's because we didn't know, we didn't do it, but it's like, it's our job.
Yeah. And what I know in my head too, and it doesn't have to be just from fitness and exercise, but it can be anything that you do, right? Just sitting at your desk and having your monitor and your computer set up in different ways and looking the way you sit in your chair, the way you put your phone in your pocket, like just the things, like you said, the wear and tear that you do consistently over time, and I know that a lot of people who go to the gym just doing a lot of pressing, not doing a lot of pulling, just doing a lot of bench squatting, not doing a lot of deadlift, just doing a lot of one thing and out of the other, counterbalance themselves. Over time, your body will start to shape itself differently for those reasons. And I can feel myself whenever I'm pressing more than I'm pulling, that my back starts hurting more. Or when I go to do some stretches, that I feel tighter in different places like that. And I never considered it being something adjusting my bones in a way that would be restrictive on my body going forward until recently. And I know that there's something going on I need to get fixed. I just don't know what it is. And I'm not going to go to the doctor to find out. Maybe today.
So when we go through like our process, like we don't do stretching in our office. Like we're a chiropractic clinic. We do chiropractic. Now we will talk about things like, hey, look, I want you to start doing this exercise. Here's how to fix this ergonomic. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do that. And we talk through those kind of custom per what you need, et cetera. If I had one takeaway, research your psoas muscle. Everyone I talk to, probably 99 out of 100 people are like, what? What muscle?
I hate stretching that thing.
Psoas. P-S-O-A-S.
Oh, that's not how I would have spelled it.
I know.
S-O space A-S. Psoas.
So the thing about it is, what's the number one position we spend way too much time in?
Sitting.
Sitting.
100%. So like when I sit and do my paperwork, I'm in a yoga ball inside of a rolly platform. I don't sit traditionally. If you notice me, I've rearranged my body dozens of times already because I don't sit normally, you know. But if you're having low back pain, work on psoas. Mm-hmm. It's not going to fix everything, but it's going to start to balance you.
Psoas is in the front of your hip, and
Look, you got Google nowadays. You need to Google it so you can see it. Mm-hmm. So you can see exactly where it is. If you need to, we have a video that I break down how to work on it, but you got YouTube. Like you want to figure out how to do it. Like it's too
My
easy
Jason
now.
stretches his hips every morning, every night. He just thinks it's so important. It's the most awkward looking stretches I've seen.
It is. But those people, like I haven't had low back problems since I got out of a traditional chair. Started working psoas regularly and put the lift in.
Yeah. My brother was in fitness for a while. He doesn't do it anymore, but he always would say, people always want to say you need to stand up, you need to sit in this chair, you need to kneel down, you need to whatever. It's really the next position is the best position. It's if you stand up all the time, you're going to have this problem. If you sit down all the time, you're going to have that problem. But if you have a way of moving and not staying in one place in one way the whole day, you're going to have a better chance of not creating a problem for yourself. It's the next position. It's always moving around. And I'm thankful for my standing desk so I can sit, stand, and move. So we could talk all day because I could ask you a million questions. I love this. Fitness is something that's always been a passion for me. But St. Tammany Parish, right? We service St. Tammany Parish. This podcast is really to promote businesses in our area, St. Tammany Parish and the surrounding parishes. What does St. Tammany Parish mean to you? How has it made an impact on your business?
So growing up, I was born in Metairie, moved over here in like 94. So St. Tammany Parish is one of those, like having lived elsewhere, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like to have the bubble we have, to have the family atmosphere, to have those kinds of things, like it's an amazing piece. There's nothing like it. I've lived in like 4 or 5 other states. There's nothing like it. Traveled everywhere else. As far as the business goes, the people here, people who aren't from here don't understand, like, but you just want to be here. The people here are amazing. Like the mentality, the food, like just everyone's like family, you know? Our key was moving. When my wife and I decided to move back here, we're like, we want to be in Mandeville, Covington area. It's funny because some people see Mandeville and Covington as like separated. I'm like, I grew up in both of them. I'm like Mandeville, Covington, Madison. I'm all over, you know, spending time. But it's funny how it's kind of separated a little bit moving forward. Like some people don't like to go to Mandeville. Some people don't, and they think it's like so far. We were joking about it earlier, like driving up to downtown Covington.
30 minutes to get to Mandeville nowadays. It just takes longer to get to there to get to Slidell at some time.
It's wild, you know. But we love this place. We love this area. Our goal long term is to continue to expand through South Louisiana so that we can spread the chiropractic message and try and train docs internally and help them help other people, you know.
Very cool. Well, I may. Let's visit the doctor soon.
No, he's already bought in. I'm reading the situation. We just go ahead and schedule. If Dr. Jason's office is listening, Jared's available.
You can just come here.
Wednesday mornings.
I'll put a bench in. So look, man, this was great. I learned a lot. I hope that your audience, our audience, learns more about being, you know, what y'all can offer, and they come and check you guys out and give you some business.
Thanks for having us.
Cool.
Yeah,
it's a blast.